Hello there, readers. We're going to take another look at Piggy Pie today by Margie Palantini and illustrated by Howard Fine. We're going to listen to Ani reread this book for us one more time, and then we're going to be practicing making some connections. A connection is when readers think about their own experiences and what they read in the book to make connections between themselves and a story. But that's not the only way to make a connection. That's the one that we quite often use in kindergarten. But there are other kinds of connections. For example, you can make a connection between one story that you've heard and another story that maybe you've heard in the past. Not only with stories, but you can make connections between stories and songs, or movies and books. Lots of different ways to create connections. You're just relating your experiences with what you've read or what you're hearing in a story. So let's listen to Piggy Pie one more time, and then we'll talk about some connections that I've noticed and I hope you are noticing in this book.
Piggy Pie, written by Margie Palantini, illustrated by Howard Fine. Gritch the witch woke up grouchy, grumpy, and very hungry. Her belly grumbled for something delicious, something delightful, something special. But what? It wasn't purple mousetail stew. No, she ate that yesterday for lunch. Maybe some mashed dragon tongue pudding. No, Gritch wasn't in the mood for anything quite that sweet. Perhaps a taste of boiled black buzzard feet. That always made her mouth water. No, not today. Today, Gritch wanted something truly tasty, something really yummy, something special. And that could only mean Piggy Pie.
Yes, Piggy Pie. I can taste those plump, juicy pink piggies right now,
Gritch said, smacking her lips. She hurried to the pantry and pulled down her old hag cookbook from the top shelf. She picked off a spider, blew off the dust, and turned to the secret recipe on page 342. Gritch ran her bony finger with the long green nail down the list of ingredients. 1 eye of a fly. She checked the pantry shelves.
No problem,
said Gritch. 2 shakes of a rattlesnake's rattle.
No problem,
said Gritch. 3 belly hairs of a possum.
No problem,
said Gritch. 8 plump piggies.
Problem,
screeched Gritch.
I don't have any piggies. How can I make Piggy Pie without even one puny pink pig?
Gritch pulled her hair. She stomped her feet. She paced the floor. She wanted Piggy Pie. She wanted Piggy Pie very much. She said, tapping the lucky wart on her chin.
Now where would I find 8 plump pigs?
Gritch thought, and thought, and thought.
Aha!
She shouted with a jump.
The circus! Yes, the circus! The circus? No, not the circus! You don't find pigs in the circus!
She thought harder.
Aha!
She shouted with a jump.
The zoo! Yes, the zoo! The zoo? No, not the zoo! You don't find pigs in the zoo!
She thought much harder.
The farm? Yes, the farm! You'll find pigs on the farm!
There still was just one teeny tiny little problem. Where to find a farm?
Where else?
Gritch let her bony fingers do the walking and opened the yellow pages to F, where she found a very large ad. This was it. Old MacDonald's Farm. Call E-I-E-I-O. Just over the river and through the woods, we have ducks, chickens, and piggies. Gritch put her broomstick in gear and headed over the river and through the woods to Old MacDonald's farm.
I've got you in my sights now, you little porkers!
She cackled as she circled overhead.
Surrender, piggies!
Can you see what the pigs are doing? They're putting on beaks and wings and all kinds of costumes. What do you think they're going to do next? Gritch zoomed in for a landing. She spit straw, fanned her still smoking tootsies, and lifted her goggles. There wasn't a pig in sight.
Where did they all go?
Gritch shouted to a duck.
Hey, duck! I said, where are all the piggies? I need 8 plump piggies for piggy pie.
The duck quacked here. It quacked there. Here it quacked, there it quacked, everywhere it quacked.
No piggies. What do you mean, no piggies, you dizzy duck?
Gritch screeched into his bill.
I just saw a parcel of piggies down here not a minute ago. Hand over those hogs, you little quacker. No piggies,
quacked the duck. Gritch pulled her hair. She stomped her feet. She even threatened the duck with one of her most evil spells. The duck was not impressed. It wasn't even scared. It gave Gritch another quack and waddled away.
So who needs a dumb duck?
Gritch mumbled. Being careful where she stepped, Gritch wandered across the meadow.
Yoo-hoo!
She shouted. Moo!
You!
Gritch said to the cow.
Where are the piggies? I need 8 plump piggies for piggy pie.
The cow moo-mooed here. It moo-mooed there. Here it mooed, there it mooed, everywhere it moo-mooed. No piggies!
What do you mean, no piggies, you lumpy-looking cow?
Screamed Gritch.
I need 8 plump piggies for piggy pie. Fork over that pork, you walking milk machine, or I'll curdle your cream.
No piggies, mooed the cow. Gritch pulled her hair. She stomped her feet. She even threatened the cow with one of her most evil spells. The cow stared at Gritch, swatted a fly with its tail, and lumbered away.
Cows! Who needs 'em?
Gritch muttered. So she tried the barnyard, where she stopped a chicken in its tracks.
Okay, bird brain, where are the piggies? I need 8 plump piggies for piggy pie.
The chicken clucked here. It clucked there. Here it clucked, there it clucked, everywhere it clucked. No piggies!
What do you mean, no piggies, you feathered drumstick?
Gritch screeched.
What's going on here? Where's the boss of this heap of hay?
The chicken flapped a wing toward Old MacDonald. Gritch looked him over once, twice.
You're Old MacDonald?
She said.
Don't look much like your picture, do you?
The farmer thumbed his suspenders and shrugged.
Look, Shorty, I've been quacked here, moo-mooed there, and clucked everywhere all over this farm. I need 8 plump piggies for piggy pie. Where are the piggies?
The farmer looked here, he looked there. Here he looked, there he looked, everywhere he looked and looked. No piggies. Gritch pulled her hair. She stomped her feet. She even threatened him with one of her most evil spells. No piggies. Her stomach growled. It grumbled. But there were no piggies. There would be no piggy pie. Now what was she going to eat? Psst! 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 Excuse me, little lady. Wolf's the name. Let me give you some advice. Forget about the pigs.
Forget about the pigs?
Said Gritch, eyeing the wolf. He nodded.
They're too tricky. Trust me. I've been chasing 3 little pigs for days.
He huffed and puffed.
I'm starving. Look at me. I'm nothing but skin and bones.
Gritch pinched his arm.
Well, not quite.
She grinned.
Mr. Wolf, I have the most wonderful idea. I was thinking, since you haven't eaten and I haven't eaten, why don't you come home with me for lunch? I'm a very good cook.
Why, that does sound tempting, the wolf said as he looked at Gritch and smacked his lips. Are you sure it wouldn't be a problem?
Problem?
Gritch grinned.
No problem at all,
she said as they walked off arm in arm.
I always enjoy having a wolf for lunch.
Did you notice what Gritch the witch and the wolves were picturing in their minds on the last page as they were thinking about what they were going to eat for lunch? They wanted to eat each other. That's because neither one of them could catch any of those clever pigs. I hope you enjoyed our story today. I sure did enjoy reading to you. See you next time. Subscribe for more.
Were you able to make some connections to this text? Well, in this story, Piggy Pie, we've got the characters Gritch and the piggies, but there are other characters in this book that you may have connected to other stories or other songs that you've heard. Let's take a closer look at the text. I've marked some pages here. Let's take a look at this one. Here's the ad when Gritch was looking to find a farm with piggies, and the ad says, Old MacDonald's farm, call E-I-E-I-O. Does that make you think of a song or a book that you've heard before? I found another connection to Old MacDonald. Here, when Gritch is looking for the farmer to ask him where the piggies are, it says, in the text, says, you're Old MacDonald? Look, Shorty, I've been quacked here, moo there, and clucked everywhere, all over this farm. Think about when we sing Old MacDonald's song, right? The animals with a moo here and a moo there, here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo, right? Did you make that same connection to the song? I've got another one for you at the end. Think about the character that showed up at the end of our story. Who was that? The wolf, right? What other story could you connect to with a wolf? Let me read for you. Forget about the pigs. Forget about the pigs, said Gritch, eyeing the wolf. He nodded. They're too tricky. Trust me, I've been chasing 3 little pigs for days. He huffed and he puffed. Which wolf do you know of that chased 3 little pigs, that tricked him, and he had to huff and puff? Yeah, the 3 little pigs, right? And the big bad wolf. I think this must be that big bad wolf that didn't catch those clever little piggies. Okay, so those are just 2 ways that you can connect characters or elements of a story to something that you've heard before through a song, through a book, through a movie, or that personal connection. We're all making connections. Awesome. Let's check out Seesaw. You're going to find 5.4 Piggy Pie connections. Click Add Response. Find your name and icon. And again, there's 1 page for you to work on. You can respond here through Seesaw, or if you like to write on your own notebook paper, you can also use the camera to take a picture of your response. You're going to be drawing and writing about connections that you may have to the characters in the story that you've seen in other books or other songs. You're going to write and draw about these text-to-text or text-to-song connections that you have, okay? No right answer, just write what you've noticed and how you connect Piggy Pie to other books or songs that you've heard before. Click the green check to submit.